And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin another day. I was sitting here looking, and it's always good to see that somebody from my area is doing so good. And I ran across Mike Goldman of a car that they had at a car show. Just look at that. Is that not beautiful? I just wanted to give them a thumbs up this morning of the great work that they do.
That's shiny.
It's shiny, isn't it, Odie? Beautiful stuff there. They do a lot of work here that's seen the world over. Like with a lot of artists, they just don't know who did it. Mike Goldman and the bunch here from Meridian, so congrats on that. That was a great one there. As we begin our day, it is the 1st of November. Can anyone believe that? It has already snuck up on us. That means that we're 54-ish days away from Christmas, somewhere right around in there. We're cold right now. We're sitting at 36 degrees. Now, we'll get to 55 today. Tonight, as I put in the headlines there, put another log on the fire. We're headed for a low of 29 degrees tonight. Don't worry, summertime returns on Saturday. We'll get up to 64 tomorrow, 10 degrees higher than we are expected for today. But we're going to have some ups and downs, as they say, with the weather. Officially, today ends hurricane season and tornado season begins. We'll talk a little bit more about this. We won't give away the whole thing, but a big announcement coming up this morning from the Lima headquarters at 11 a.m. We'll be there for the press conference as what I would say a game changer for our area is coming. It's good. We'll find out more from that and the team that's been working for years behind the scene to make all this stuff happen. That's coming up at 11 o'clock today. We'll be there. All right, let's get a good word. We can't face the word without the man above. Let's go out to Collinsville and let them pass that along to us.
Do you love your neighbor? We're commanded to do so, but what does that look like? Well, the Holy Spirit through Apostle Paul tells us in Romans 13 that loving our neighbor begins with at least doing them no wrong. Even if you never do anything actively good for them, you can show them love by passively doing them no wrong. In other words, you begin showing love to your neighbor by not sinning against them. Paul points us to the second half of the 10 Commandments in Romans 13. Don't sleep with your neighbor's spouse. Don't murder your neighbor. Don't lust after your neighbor's possessions. Don't steal your neighbor's stuff. And we would add, don't lie about your neighbor. By simply refusing to do these things, you begin to show love to your neighbor. Now, you might be thinking, man, that's a really low bar. I mean, shouldn't we set the bar higher? Well, again, this is not the totality of what it means to love your neighbor. It's just the beginning. But how much better would our world be, our community be, if we simply began right here? Why don't we try this first? Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. As always, a good message coming your way. Good morning to everyone. I see Susan joining us from Chunky. It's always nice out there, but it's cold there as well. Woo, so many of you. Conahata joining us. Mark, how in the world are you doing there? Cheryl, good to see you also. As we start this, and as we finish the good word there above, and I guess this should be no surprise, and again, I had virtually not heard of this guy until he got elected to Speaker of the House. His name is Mike Johnson, a pretty common name, but he does do one thing. He does believe in the good Lord above. And the liberal media is trying to tear him apart from one end to the other because of his religious beliefs of believing in God. He says that they will continue it, but he says it's just simply disgusting. He said they will continue, but that's what he thinks about it. At least he's standing up for what he believes. I've seen so many politicians get to Washington, they start getting jumped on, and they start backing up. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Well, y'all know what I mean by that. He's standing his ground, and I respect him for that. We'll see where it goes from there, of how much they'll crank up the heat on him. We'll see that. They're saying now, as we look to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, after Gaza is cleared, American troops may stand in to guard. We'll see after Israel went in. We'll see what becomes of that. Let it be no surprise that the FBI warns of a Hamas attack on American soil. Let's be honest about this. They're already here. Our borders have been open for, what are we going on, 3 years now? Wide open. It's kind of like the green light. You can go past go on the Monopoly board. We're filled. There's no telling what is behind or on American soil at this point. Large crowds. Always watch yourself, no matter where you're watching me from. Something looks suspicious, say something or get out of the area. This will happen. I don't know when, but they are here. Make no mistake, and they do not like us. They want to end our way of life. They're doing a pretty good job of that. As God is being thrown from building to building, y'all know what it is. From churches, even churches, it's happening. Schools, courthouses, all across the nation, it happens every day. We lose ground. We're not gaining anything when it comes to Christianity. What are they telling us? Let's see here. We have 5,000 en route to America. Y'all watching this? Another group, Latinos that are marching to America to cross the border. Will they be stopped? I don't know. 5,000 headed this direction. And if you don't think there's some bad folks mixed in with that, we do have some oceanfront property here in Arizona, as they say. As we go back, Eva Longoria, you'll remember her from, what was that big show that she used to be on, Odie? The something Lane, where all the housewives, what was that show? Yeah, with the little guy that worked on any. Anyway, her ex-boyfriend has passed away at the age of 50. He was a star on General Hospital. His name was Tyler Christopher. He died at the age of 50, most likely a heart attack from what I'm hearing. This is what he looked like. I don't watch enough soap operas to know him, but from Daily Mail, that's a picture of him. So if you know him, then you know what I'm talking about there. Vandersloot is now shipped back to Peru, where he will spend the rest of his life, I guess, for what he did for the first murder. After he's left here and confessed to what he done to Natalie, he has been flown back. Just an update on all of that. It's not the rest of his life. I don't have the exact number, but it is not the rest of his life, I don't believe. Robert De Niro in court right now. He's been in a bunch of movies. Problem is, his personal assistant is suing him. He began to yell at her yesterday. Called her all kinds of ugly names. She's suing him for $12 million. Will she win? We don't know. I think she's hinting that he may have done things that were inappropriate. We'll leave it at that and go on about our business, won't we? Scientists think they've discovered how the Egyptians built the Sphinx some 4,500 years ago. They haven't figured out code yet. Do they think I'm really going to believe that? The Egyptians were way more advanced than some of these guys that think they know everything. And I don't know what the deal is or why it matters. I really don't on this one. As the news media, I guess they have nothing better to do. So I'll fall into this and show you a picture of what they're all stirred up about. How tall is Ron DeSantis, or DeSantis, however you say his name? Depending upon where you stand, they're saying that inside his cowboy boots, he's got lifts. That he's much shorter than he really is, and his boots have lifts inside of it to make him appear. And people are swearing that he is. There it is right there. That's his alligator boots, I guess is what those are. And they're saying that, I don't see it. The man wears cowboy boots. Leave him alone. He's not going to be president. Are they trying to say that he's got the little man syndrome? I don't know. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. Ben Affleck involved in another accident yesterday. Just cannot seem to, keep hitting his car. Here's a picture of that scene there if you were worried about it. Oh, yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it? A minor scratch there. But it made national headline news yesterday. It was a slow day. We'll be right back as we get your forecast underway this morning. I'll let you know just how cold it's going to be. Get another log, get a blanket. You're going to need it tonight. Today's high reaching about 55. We'll be right back.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Have you seen the selection of cars and trucks at Massey Supermart Auto Sales lately? How about a Grand Cherokee Jeep 4x4 Limited? They've got that in white and also gray. They have a like new 2021 Wrangler Unlimited 4x4. Or maybe your family needs room. Have you checked out the Ford Expedition lately? 1023 Highway 39 Bypass, Massey Supermart Auto Sales.
The low profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
I just have butterfingers this morning. Can't seem to hit the right buttons, can I? Let's get underway with this as we start looking at what our record highs and record lows were as we go back a few years to 16. It was 89 degrees on this date. 93. Boy, look at that. It was cold. 25. A few degrees cooler than it's going to be tonight. Just about 4 there. As we look at today, we have an elevated fire risk that's going to be going on. As we'll see this come across here. Do not burn. We have a red flag warning that is out. And let me pull this up and go to radar and show y'all just how this looks this morning on radar of what the National Weather Service is telling us. As we pull this up for you to take a look, here's radar this morning. As you'll see all of this pink, all of this blue, anywhere in East Mississippi, as we pull this up, there is a fire weather warning and also a freeze warning in effect for today and tonight. So don't burn whatever we do. It could be bad. We did have a brush fire yesterday break out. Took firefighters quite a while to get a hold of that. As we look at the freeze for tonight, here we go. Look at this. We've got for tonight a level 3 for Neshoba County, a good portion of Kemper County in that northwest corner northward as we go into Noxubee County. We'll also throw in Leake County and Atala, Winston County. All of this is in that level 3 tonight. Temperatures will fall below freezing for at least 3 hours. Now look at this on Thursday. Thursday morning when this rolls in, look how cold it's going to be. As we look at this is tomorrow morning, a level 3 for the majority of Mississippi. Clark County, the southern end there at Shabuta should hold on to a 2, but then Westone will be 2. But anything north of Shabuta and Clark County toward Lauderdale County, east into west into Jasper County, and into Alabama is going to be extremely cold with a level 3 freeze expected. So that's serious if you got vegetation and these coming up. And by all means, we urge you do something for your pets. They need all they can help. As we talked about those wildfire conditions, as we pull this up to take a look here, here's what it is for today, a level 3 in the Meridian area, and that does take in Columbus Air Force Base. Only in Yazoo City and over in Vicksburg is it a 2. The majority of Mississippi, as we pointed out a minute ago, is at level 3. As we look at the wildfire conditions for Thursday, Friday, we're still at a level 2. It's pretty strong there. As we look at Bama, wildfire conditions here all across the state. As you'll see, it extends from Mississippi all the way across Bama and even into Georgia. We don't need anything. A red flag warning is pretty serious there. As we look at the freezing temps in Alabama there, look at Montgomery. Ooh, freeze watch there. Freeze warning for the rest of the states there from Selma. Take it in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham. All of this in East Mississippi, West Alabama, even into Georgia. As we look at this, it's cold for our time. Freezing temps expected into Wednesday morning as well. Right there, shown here is what we've got. Now, as we look for the outlook, what is coming there? It's kind of normalish looking there for portions of Tennessee, a little bit above average for Mississippi. Southwest Mississippi will be a little bit warmer there. Out to the west, we do see coming from California across Nevada and areas warmer weather, which brings about our forecast, which will be changing as we get for 54 to 55 today. My radar system is indicating maybe a 27 for the low tonight. National Weather Service hovering at 28, 29. That's 1 or 2 degrees. It's going to be cold. By tomorrow, things start to warm back up as we'll see 64 for a high, down to freezing on Thursday night, moving into Friday morning. As the weekend arrives, we're sitting at 68 degrees for a high on Friday. But look at this over the weekend. We get 74 again on Saturday, and by Sunday, we're back to 77 degrees. As we make it to Monday, we're right at that 80-degree mark once again. It's going to be hot. Welcome back. What does that mean? Doctor's office is going to be filled with folks getting sick. That's what's coming. Yeah, y'all watch out. We'll watch it carefully there for you. As we go all the way through November the 15th, can you believe that? Wow, oh wow, oh wow. 77 on the 8th. Then we'll start around the 10th of November, getting back to the 60-degree mark. Not bad, but not as cold as it could be. Lows in the 40s at night. Now, as we look at this is the ending of the hurricane season. As we look at this, 60% chance of this storm becoming something. We'll watch it as we move in, again, as we warn you about what happens this time every year in November. We're going to move heavy into tornadic season, November, December. It'll lighten up a little bit there in January, and then in March it comes back again. But over the next 2 months, we'll watch this, stay close. We'll go live and be on top of this at any given time. As we look at the fishing calendar this morning, what is happening as we go to Chet's Paint and Body? Chet tells us the major time to fish today is going to be this afternoon, right around 3 o'clock. Say 10 after 3, be there, and you can stay to about 5:30. Now, the wind's going to be northeast, steady 10 to 15. But that gust, 25-mile-an-hour gust, that'll mess up a lure anytime. Backlashes, we know it. Not so much better for deer hunting either, as you get that wind blowing and gets your scent all through the woods. Your major time to hunt is going to be pretty close to fishing today. They're going to put it about 3:20. So we'll go from 3:30 to 5:30 if you're going to be in the woods. Again, it will be chilly, nippy, and blowing your scent all through the woods. They're brought to you by our friends there at Collinsville Meats. So if you got to be there, that's what the forecast is calling for on the hunting side this afternoon. That's a quick look at weather headlines this morning of where we're headed, what we're doing again as you're waking up. Right now it's 36 at Key Field. Be a tad warmer as we move forward on this. And tonight, the coldest that we've had of the fall season, I guess you could call it. 28, 27 in that area expected for tonight. If you have not turned on your heat, do so today. Blow that dust out of it. Make sure it works so you're not sitting in the dark freezing tonight. Because I'll have to give you Odie's number. Send him over to light your furnace.
Call my office.
Call your office. We'll be right back. We are, let's see what the time is. We're about 5 minutes away from starting the feed for the morning show, kicking off at 7 o'clock. A lot of special guests here. We'll tell you about some great gospel music coming up this morning. Brother Paul's in the house. Brother Tim. We're going to call him Brother Tim. Yeah. You've been called Brother Tim before?
I've been called something.
You've been called something? Never Brother Tim. We're going to lay it on him thick this morning. Also, we'll find out what's going on in Collinsville a little bit later, as Joe has something special he's doing for the community there at the Piggly Wiggly. We'll have Miss Connie in later today to tell us about that also. Always good things happening here, so you'll find out first. It's always here at the Scotty Ray Report. We'll be back live in just a moment. Odie's green, by the way, today. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. We'll be right back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.